Welcome to this episode of Gilliland's Gameplan podcast, and this one's a little different because you may be watching us. We're doing a video version of this one as well. We are 6 feet apart, so we're taking our masks off. We've already hand sanitized, so we're keeping up with all the guidelines there. Got a very special podcast today because of our guests, but also the things we get to talk about. So first, just Coach Bobby Wallace here with us. Coach, we're glad to have you on.
Well, Coach, appreciate it. Glad to be on.
We a lot's been going on, obviously, the last few months with this spring semester. But the first thing I wanted to really just bring up is just the success we've had this semester and this year totally. Talk a little bit about just the classroom success.
Well, as you know, I mean, everybody knows what an unusual time we've been going through in the whole country, the whole world. And, you know, we went to all online courses about the middle of the semester, which is, you know, was really difficult, not only for student athletes or for all the students, but also for the faculty.
No doubt.
So, you know, I really appreciate the work that the faculty, the administration, and our student athletes did to have a successful semester. And it ended up being a success. We had 51 more student athletes graduate in the spring, which are planning to graduate when we have graduation, but they've done
right.
the work to be to graduate, and so I guess they have. And along with I think it was 53 in the fall, which makes 104 student athletes for the year, which is phenomenal. I mean, if you look back 4 years ago, we were graduating 44 student athletes, and now we've doubled it. And of course, you got to give Mike Jones a lot of credit for that, Dr. Edwards a lot of credit, and of course Dr. Tucker starts from the top. So and the coaches, yourself included. You know, it's coaches keep up with their student athletes, and we got the right kind of people in our athletic department and our coaching staff to where they care about the student athletes.
No doubt. And, you know, just football-wise, just to speak on it a little bit, you know, it's astounding for a whole athletic department to look and see that we've doubled our graduation in 4 or 5 years. That's crazy. Football, we had 33 this year, which we were ecstatic about. Looking back at that same 4 or 5 years ago, it was, I think, 7. So, you know, we're really, you know, that's the goal, as we all know. That's why we're in it, is to get student athletes degrees. And like you said, we couldn't do it without Mike Jones and Dr.
Right.
Edwards, Dr. Tucker, and all the faculty.
Well, you know, and the philosophy that you utilize, and I commend you for that. Trying to build a program with young men that you develop a relationship with and you care, and you know, it's a great thing with graduating these guys, but for a coach, it's a sad thing because they move on and they're gone, and you got to start with another group. So, but it's commend the philosophy that you use.
Well, anytime a legend will commend you, that's an honor. Just to give everybody kind of a snapshot of what that looked like, because, you know, you talked about how hard it was on the faculty and everybody, and it was, but I mean, daily, our coaches, myself, and all of our staff, and I just talk for football because that's what I obviously was dealing with. Mike Jones would send us daily reports where faculty were talking to him, telling him, you know, what our guys had coming up, or if guys were hurt, you know, had lost communication, or whatever issues may come. And without that, I mean, we couldn't keep track of them. And it's a credit to our coaching staff, because our coaching staff did Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting talking about athletics. We hadn't talked football since middle of March, but talking about academics and nonstop, and you know, so our coaches did a great job tracking them. But like you said, couldn't have done it without the faculty involvement and Mike Jones and all that had to do with it. So it's really a great time. And, you know, football wise, again, going back, just looking at in the last 3 years, we've graduated 96 young men, which is, you know, 32 a year. Is an average, and when I got here, you know, following by watching you and some of your track records of having big senior classes year after year, which is hard to do in Division II.
Right. Well, what it does, it speaks that you got the right kind of program, because Division II, people don't realize, as opposed to Division I, the student athlete does not have the big time hometown pressure to stay on the team. You know, a lot of guys play at Alabama and Auburn. They can't quit. I mean, you know, in Division II, it turns over so much and so easy if you don't have the right kind of program. If you've got the right kind of program, kids want to be a part of it. And not only does it keep kids in the program, but you wait and see 5, 6 years from now, you'll be going to high schools, and a lot of your former players will be high school coaches because they loved what they were part of.
Yeah.
And so it does that to it also.
Well, that's definitely what it's all about, and I'm excited because that's a goal we set to be able to do, and so with our staff being able to see our guys achieve that's big. And then now moving forward into kind of what else has been going on other than just schoolwork, and obviously this is a hard time for a lot of people in this country and across the world, and we know that and wouldn't dare minimize that. And you know, and our thoughts and prayers are with everyone during this time as we start to hopefully work back towards normal. But we got some exciting news here at the middle of May that went out to Tiger fans, and I hope most of you saw it. But tell a little bit about the flooring of the stadium that happened.
Well, you know, first of all, got to thank our administration, and the Board of Trustees, President's Council, athletic faculty committee. You know, everybody's been on board with this project. But first of all, the floor in the stadium had to be done. From a safety standpoint, the turf was you know, worn out, and we play both men and women's soccer, football, and they all practice on it also. It's not like we just play the games. So it takes, and the band gets on it quite often. So you know, it takes a lot of use. And I think we put the first turf down in 2000, and I'm just going to guess 8. It was one of my second, third year here when I was coaching, and got to thank Terry Bunn for the great contribution he gave us at that point in time to be able to renovate Homer Field House and do some things. Facilities are very important in college athletics, and I think everybody's aware of that. But to give you a great example, in 2006, I was sitting at Gulf Shores. Me and Sharon were living down there, retired. Life was good. You know, she grew up in Mobile.
Yeah.
And I come home one day and say, Sharon, I think Clement Spruill, who was a good friend of Gary Elliott, the basketball coach that was here at one time, and UNA, one of my best friends. Clement wants to talk to me about coming to West Alabama and going to Livingston. And so we drove up here, spent 6 hours here with Clement, and he asked me, what do we have to do to win? They had gone 35 years in a row without winning 7 games in a season. No playoffs, obviously no conference championships.
Yep.
And, you know.
I was a part of some of those, unfortunately.
Well, and, you know, basically I went through it, and, you know, you've got to, first of all, be fully funded scholarships. Yep. You've got to improve your facilities. And then you've got to give student athletes academic help to retain them. And you also need to add a coach.
Sure.
And, you know, those are just the basic things that I said. Well, Clement said, well, we're going to do it. And so I took the job, and thanks to the contribution from Terry Bunn and others, that they've improved. They did what they said they would do.
Yeah.
Since that time that they put down that turf, put in the new scoreboard, redid Homer Field House, 10 out of 11 seasons, we've won over 7 games with you, Will Hall, and myself as the coaches. Yep. 3 conference championships. Yep. I can't claim one of those.
And foundation, though.
Yeah, and 5 playoffs.
Yeah.
10 out of 11, and they hadn't done it in 35 years. Well, this tells you what facilities mean to a program. Yep. You've got to have it. It's what kids want to see when they come recruit, and not just student athletes, the regular students when they come on campus. So we're going to upgrade the stadium, and we can talk a little more about that because I'd love to.
No doubt. And I think that's important for Tiger fans to see the turf that's been done already and know that that's really phase 1. I mean, and we're moving through, and in July, the lower concourse of the stadium is going to be planked with permaplanks, so it'll be a nice red aluminum bleacher to sit on.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. First of all, Sprint Turf did the turf, and it's paid for, taken care of. I think they did a great job. We had to bid it and went to the lowest bidder, and they ended up winning the bid. But we're very pleased with the job that they did, and I love the logos. I love the way it looks. It's so much brighter red now, and you know, of course, it's what our university's logo is. That's what we had before was not anymore. It was outdated.
That's right.
So we got that done. I think you're gonna like it when we get on it practice-wise. I mean, it feels good to me walking on it,
Me
but
too.
you know, it's a lot different running and tackling and all that stuff. Hopefully, we're gonna love it when that happens too. The next step is the Permaplanks, and Permaplanks is a aluminum bleacher that will be placed directly on the concrete. You have the health code where a regular standard bleacher would be too high. The level from where you sit to where your feet touch the ground would not, so you couldn't go up too far. Permaplanks will sit right down on it, so it'll be perfect. And like you said, it'll be red. It won't be sitting on concrete. It'll be sitting on aluminum seating, and it will look great. It's probably going to make our chair back seats at the upper level look kind of pink.
No doubt.
So
no
we got to
doubt.
get, that's the next step as we go. But
doubt.
bottom line is that those should be, they're already ordered. We've already got the money. They're being manufactured at Huffy, which is the #1 stadium seating in the world. They should be delivered in July, and then they'll install them. Probably take a week or two to install them.
That's awesome. And just to recap, so the field and the Permaplanks, by this fall when we're playing, Tiger fans, that's what's going to be in Tiger Stadium. That's done. That's the field's already completed. The planks, like he just said, will be completed before the season, which is going to happen. We're going to have a season this fall. We're working towards getting our guys back and working them out and all that and going through those guidelines. But those things are happening, and that's exciting. It's exciting for me. It's exciting for our players. I can't tell you how many times our players have sent pictures out and text messages of the stadium as they drive by. And the other cool thing I thought that was neat was during this quarantine time, I know you the same way, every time I went to the stadium to watch construction on the field, there was 5 or 6 cars out there just sitting there watching. And it gave the community something to do. So we're excited about that. What we're also excited about is moving after this season, what's going on, and that's a full expansion of the Tiger Stadium home side. And just let you give a little details on that.
Well, we've hired the board of trustees has given us the direction to go ahead and to hire an architect, and we have done that. They are working on the plans. We've had some raw plans beforehand that basically will be it. I mean, it'll look very similar. There might be some minor adjustments from the pictures that we show now, but not much. And what it'll be 2 suites, one on each side of the press box, a renovation of the whole press box, a new Tiger room that will go out the back of the stadium, right up, and they'll be at the level or close to the level, might be a step or two, up or down, I don't even know, that will go right into the parking lot where people can park, walk directly in the Tiger room. It'll be enough room for 350 people. It'll have a 400 square foot academic center in it, which we do not really have in our athletic department right now. And then Mike Jones, who we talked about graduation, he will have an office in there where he can be in his office with the academic center right there, and student athletes have parking where they park just like they come into practice. They'll be able to walk in and out. It will have, of course, the Tiger room it'll have bathrooms, have an elevator. We don't have an elevator to the press box right now, which could be an issue and so we'll have that, and then we'll have the 2 suites. One will be obviously Dr. Tucker, or the president's suite. That's right. And it will have 12 seats in it, and then the 12 seats in the other one, which will probably be rented out game by game to people that we might be recruiting for donations or things like that, and then or dignitaries, whatever. And then we will do new chairback seating in the upper level also. Now, one thing that's great for people my age that sit way up high in the stadium, you can walk out the back door of Tiger Room, and you'll now be able to enter the stadium about halfway up the chairback seats.
That is big.
Which so people won't have to walk all the way from the ground all the way up to the top to seat, and that that's pretty important for us old people.
That's important. That's important for anybody. But and it's going to be you look at it and you're like, all right, well, they're updating the stadium where you only use that a few times a year, and that's not the case with this, and that's what's so exciting about it, because I mean, that room you talked about, altogether, it's going to be over 4,000 square feet with the academic center and the
Right.
event room. So I mean, that's something we're going to use for recruiting functions, all other functions. Obviously, every day our players will be in there.
All sports will be able to utilize it
Without a doubt.
for like team banquets, you know, like you said, recruiting dinners. There's just so many things, and the community will probably be using it for various things too.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a great asset to. It'll be something everybody can be proud
Sure.
of. The stadium's going to have a whole different look, and it's going to be very functional. Well, you know, people will be able to get in and out and use it and enjoy it. It's going to make the game experience so much better.
No doubt.
You know, I just very excited about it. Now, here's the other thing: we got the board has kind of directed me that we need to raise X amount of dollars, which is $1,086,000 first, and then we'll be able to finance the rest, utilizing fees to pay for the yearly bill.
Yep.
So we've got a financial plan for it if we can raise the $1,086,000. Well, I've already been talking to a handful of people, because of the virus. I haven't been able to get out as much as I want. People aren't in their offices, and it's it's hard to call on them in their homes. But bottom line is, we've people have already committed 700 and really around 750,000. I can give you an exact figure, but let's just say around 750,000.
Yeah.
Andy Coates has agreed to be the chairman of the
Good old Andy.
Yeah, of raising the money and the fundraising, and Steve Campora is the honorary chairman. And the bottom line is we're getting close.
Yeah, no doubt.
And there are already some other people that have told me they're gonna help. So if we can just get this last couple of $100,000 raised, we will hopefully start construction as soon as the playoffs and the national championship game is over this year.
Sounds good to me on both accounts.
Exactly.
And one thing I want to bring to everybody's attention is, along with this, whether you're watching video or listening to the podcast, or just go to any of my or UWA football social media accounts, there's a document that was attached to this email you got, or it's attached to this video. You'll see it. Click on that document and look through it. What you're going to see is the pictures of what's been done already. The beautiful turf and how that tiger head really pops out in the middle of it, and then you'll see the Permaplanks, an example of those, and then you'll see what this new facility is going to be. It's got detailed drawings in there. It's got where the rooms are, where the academic center is. You'll be able to see a view from both sides of it there, and then on the end there you'll get to see where we are now. And like you just said, you throw out, we got to raise a little over $1 million, and that sounds like a wild, daunting task. The majority of that work's done.
Right.
And that's the amazing thing, and we're very thankful for all those that have given towards that. And now it's time to get your help, and every bit counts. And I know it's important to get this done, because like Coach said, they want to start on this thing in January of 21, and we need to have that money raised. So on the end of that document, there's ways for you to do that. And Coach, I'll let you talk a little bit too, kind of.
With enthusiasm and the generosity of all the people that I have talked to so far is overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable how excited the people that I've talked to this point are about this project.
No
So it just tells me this is something that's been needed. I mean, we hadn't done anything in the stadium since 1978.
That's right.
And I mean, it's something that people are enthusiastic about. So I feel real good about it. I think we will surpass the goal, and the more we do, the less we have to finance.
Sure.
So it's not like it cost $1,086,000 and let's go with it. We want to raise as much as we can, and then that's going to allow me to have more funds for the other sports that need so many things too.
Correct.
I mean, and so it's an athletic department thing, and but this is big for all sports because of the academic center, Tiger Room, and the possibilities that brings for all sports. Really, the only thing football is different than when you're out there on the field and looking at it. Besides the turf, obviously, and the permaplanks is the seating.
Yeah.
And that's a minor part of really what it is. The big thing is the whole Tiger Room for the
right.
people that come to the games. And so, you know, it's a project that I think will enhance all our situations, and I'm very excited about it. Appreciative to the people who have already committed, and hope that everybody else will join in and do what they can.
Yeah.
That's what we ask.
And I love
Whatever
your quote, and you'll see it in the document as you look through the document. But your quote talks about a stadium on a college campus, and if you just look through our admissions page, and you said it in your quote, it's where you take your picture when you come on your visit.
Right.
Whether you're a regular student or an athlete, it doesn't matter. And then it's where you take your picture in your cap and gown, whether you're a student or a regular athlete. So all those times in between, it really is a focal point.
Well, it is. It's going to be great for recruiting all students. You know, you can't drive through our campus, and this is the case in most college campuses. The football stadium or soccer stadium, you know, but you know the Tiger Stadium is the focus point when you drive through campus.
Right.
I mean, it's the thing that kind of jumps out at you. You know, I mean, we got beautiful buildings on campus, and you know, got all kind of history on this campus. But when eventually you go by that stadium one way or the other, and it really will enhance the whole beauty of the university.
I agree. Just like athletics is to a university, it's kind of the front porch.
Right.
And if we can't get them on the front porch, they won't look through the windows. What a former president that I've had in the past used to say.
Right.
So I think
Exactly.
that's a great deal. So really now it's a call to action. It's get in this document, look at it. There's multiple ways to give. You can give by check. It's got all that on there. You can pledge and make a pledge for X amount of dollars each year for 5 years, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing.
It is. Most people donate, you know, over time.
Yeah.
And that's fine because the foundation will back us on that, and we can utilize pledges to borrow the money for the purpose we need it for.
And just a little inside tip, there's a good chance that those that give significantly to the stadium project will have some benefits there in the near future. So look forward to hearing about that. But go ahead and get on board with this project because it's big. It's big for our community. It's big for our university. It's obviously big for all sports and all athletes here. And I'm excited about it. I appreciate you coming in and spearheading it and taking on such a passion for it because it really is going to change a lot around here. Just like you said, the facilities you changed the first time you were here did. And
well, it attracts student athletes, but it also gives pride to everybody associated with universities. And when you have that feeling, it's going to reflect on the field.
No doubt. No doubt. And I don't know if you caught it during the talk, but he did say, if I caught him right, his second year here, the first time, we got new turf. His second year here, the second time, we got new turf. So when Coach Wallace comes packing, he comes packing with new turf, and I love it.
I hadn't thought of that.
But hope you enjoyed today. Hope you enjoyed the podcast, the video. Please go to either our accounts or click on the link here and look through this document, and you'll get to see the change it's going to make. We talked about a lot of people in this podcast. Mike Jones is on a previous episode. If you want to go back and listen to more of what he does, this is a family. University of West Alabama is a family from faculty to the provost to the president to the athletic administration, all the way down into our student athletes, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Absolutely, that's what makes it fun.
No doubt, and that's what makes it, as they say, special.
Exactly.
And so, Coach, I appreciate you being on.
Oh, thank you.
And
enjoyed it.
And I'm excited about getting that rest of that fundraising done and getting this stadium project completed.
And the last thing I will say is it should be, if everything stays on time, we'll be playing in it. It'll be completed by the next season.
Which will be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go this season with new turf and new planks, and then the next season with a whole new expanded stadium. That's what you're supposed to do in college athletics. So.
Right.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and stay safe out there, and go Tigers.